Good afternoon. We're bringing you the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay. Here are the stories we're watching this Thursday, July 24. Pag-asa continues to monitor Typhoon Emo and Tropical Storm Dante inside the Philippine area of responsibility, as well as a low-pressure area outside of PAR. As of 11 a.m. today, signal number 3 is raised over parts of Pangasinan, La Union, and Ilocos Sur. Signal number 2 and 1 are also up over several areas across Luzon. And meantime, the southwest monsoon or habagat will continue to affect parts of the country, including Metro Manila. The International Criminal Court has deferred its decision on former President Rodrigo Duterte's request for temporary release. The court gave his legal team more time to submit additional information and evidence. 3 judges agreed to the ruling suspension, with Judge Maria del Socorro Flores Liera, whom the Duterte camp wants removed, partially dissenting. Duterte faces crimes against humanity charges over killings linked to his drug war and the Davao Death Squad. Still on legal matters, the Department of Justice has withdrawn the appeal to reverse ML Party List Representative Laila de Lima's acquittal in one of her drug cases. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla ordered the withdrawal, citing double jeopardy. De Lima welcomed the move and called on Remulla to investigate the panel of prosecutors who pushed for the appeal. President Bongbong Marcos has returned to the Philippines with 3 billion pesos in U.S. aid and $21 billion in investment pledges. He landed at Villamor Air Base late Wednesday after his July 20th to 22nd U.S. trip and first official meeting with President Donald Trump. Washington announced 3 billion pesos or $60 million in aid that's going to go to energy, maritime, and economic programs. Another 825 million pesos or $15 million is also proposed for Luzon's private sector development. In his arrival message, Marcos said that the Philippines secured over $21 billion in investment pledges following his meetings with executives from healthcare, infrastructure, and semiconductor firms. He also called the visit a strong boost to U.S. and Philippines ties.
We reaffirmed our mutual commitment to further strengthening our long-standing alliance and growing our economies for the benefit of the people and in pursuit of our national interests. I conveyed to President Trump that we remain positive about the future of PH-US trade, including investment relations, especially in the context of economic security and a fair, balanced reciprocal trade. We expressed our commitment to continue engaging his team to further bolster PH-US ties and strengthen Philippines' economic security.
PNP Chief Nicolas Torre III is taking on the challenge of acting Vice Mayor Baste-Torre seriously.
Matapang ka lang naman, we have the position pero masuntukan tayo. Arap ko makaya, bita. Sarap talaga awayin. Totoo lang.
Marami ang nasalanta ngayon ng bagyo at baha. Maybe we can use this moment or this opportunity for to raise funds. Tulbaran sa sundukan para maganda at para medyo marami-rami ang ma-raise natin.
In a video today, General Torre can be seen sparring with someone in a boxing ring, and Torre has said he wants the fight with Duterte to be a charity match, which will be held at the Smart Araneta Coliseum at 9 a.m. on Sunday, this July 27. He says proceeds from the ticket sales should be donated to victims of the storms and southwest monsoon or habagat. Duterte has yet to issue a reply to Torre setting the date and venue for this boxing fight. Senator Ping Lacson did have a reaction, asked if it was appropriate for the PNP chief to accept the challenge of Baste. The senator said, "Not so, but it is his personal call, not as the PNP chief, but as Nick Torre, who felt insulted and challenged in public by Vice Mayor Duterte. Personally, rightly or wrongly, I think we should respect his decision." Lacson also said he will watch the match if it pushes through and will buy tickets worth a whole month's pension as a retired police general if it's really going to go to charity. Malacanang has also had something to say about this challenge. Take a listen.
Hindi ko alam kung matutuloy. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam kung matutuloy. Kung matuloy man, good luck.
Joining me today, as always, to weigh in on these hot issues, we've got Storycon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas.
Nanonood ka?
Oo, kung matuloy.
Kasama kami ni San Ping kanina. So, manonood kami pareho.
Parang ano siya, parang
Pero hindi sa Araneta, Amoranto Stadium.
amura.
Tapos yung mga matuloy man o hindi, nandun si General Torre, yung mga iba magdadala ng mga relief para sa mga nasalanta. ng project.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, ganun yung kung darating
Sa
siya,
Amoranto.
kung
Dadating siya, matutuloy yung
tuloy,
boxing.
pero kung di siya darating, magiging kwan yun, parang relief
good
operations.
Relief drive.
Amoranto Stadium,
And-
9 o'clock.
And from Sunday. And from the Philippines, we've got Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi,
Hi,
Amil.
Wedge. Hi, political heckler again.
Long time no see.
Si Ami, yellow na naman.
Nanonood ka
Very
ba, Ami,
bright.
ng boxing?
Manonood ako. Ako hilig sa boxing, pero yan, manonood ako. Palagay ko, ang taas ng ano niyan, ha? Talaga, taas ng ano niyan, ng viewership.
I mean, online pa lang yung video ni General Torre, in the ring,
talaga.
practicing. It went viral already, right?
Imagine
How
mo
much
yung-
more kung ano pa, ayun na, we're playing.
Imagine mo yung pay-per-view niyan, di ba?
Yeah, exactly.
Talaga,
Tapos,
talaga.
hahatakin ko si Pacquiao.
Malaki mare-race niyan, ha? It's for charity.
Oo.
Kung ako yung payagan ko na, no?
Hindi, tsaka si Pacquiao, hahatakin ko si Pacquiao. Pupunta kami dyan.
Yung ibang tao naman kasi, of course, they're pointing to the ethics of, they're both sitting officials, right? How appropriate is it?
Ayaw nila magbasagan ng mukha, di maglagay nung yung ganon. Di ba? Meron namang ganon eh. Para walang mga dugo-dugo.
Tsaka kung yan, makaka-ease ng tensions, yung political
by points lang
tension.
ang panalo, by points. Yung landing yung di ba? Para hindi siya violente.
Masyado ng tense yung ating landscape kaya makaka-release ng tension yan.
Meron na nga gumagawa ng
talaga.
posters Patingin. Let's show the
Marami,
posters.
marami, iba-iba. Iba-ibang poster, yan, no?
Nakakatawa siya because I mean, I know it was because it started off very casually lang, no? Hinahamon ni Baste itong si General Torre. And then
Pero
it turned
tinawag kasi niyang duwag General
Yeah.
Torre.
Kahit sino namang manalo, okay lang, di ba? Wala ka namang talagang, sport lang yan talaga. We
sport.
don't know kung sinong magaling sa kanilang magana eh.
Pero win-win
Diba?
yan for General Torre. No? Pag
Siyempre.
the very fact na pupunta si Baste, panalo na siya ron. Much younger sa kanya si Baste Diba? Much
Yeah.
younger.
How old naman si General Torre?
38 daw. 55.
55 na siya. Okay, so he's...
General Torre is 55.
As Senator Manny Pacquiao has proven, sometimes age is just a number,
Yeah.
hindi ba? Ayan na, we're
Yeah.
looking at the sparring videos.
Si Richard J. Darren daw, magbibigay daw siya ng tips
Meron siyang tips?
kay Torre. Dahil
Ano?
kung daw siya, Taekwondo black belter. So.
Seryoso ka ba?
Hindi, talaga, nag-offer siya.
Okay.
Pero pwede naman kasi, bago yung match, kami muna dalawa.
Yes, marami din
Ni
manonood
Richard.
noon.
Ni
Oo.
Richard.
Marami din manonood noon.
Pero mukhang marunong talaga mag-boxing si General Torre. Tingnan mo, marunong
Yeah.
siya eh.
Marunong.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Marunong
Look at the
siya.
jabs, tsaka yung footwork.
Mas marunong siya kaysa kay Abalos. Si Abalos kasi yung puwersa galing sa braso Hindi galing sa hips. Dapat galing
Dapat sa hips, dapat
Hips.
magaling ka rin gumalaw. Like the
Sa
footwork
hips ang galing,
oo.
hindi sa
Ayan, meron din marunong din, Kaya ituloy na, no? Tuloy na laban dapat.
tuloy na.
Si Ami talaga instigator.
Dapat tuloy ang boxing. Hindi, for charity naman yan
Oo nga, oo.
For charity. Saka para nga walang anuhan sa mukha, edi maglagay nung face guard.
Hindi, dapat
Yung
nga
parang
wala.
sa fencing.
The helmet.
Dapat nga wala ng gloves. Yung talagang fist fight.
No,
Wag
wag
naman
naman.
yun.
Masyado
Wag
ka
naman
namang...
yun.
Parang kalye style.
Street fighting.
Bara-bara yun
Para ka
Oo,
namang
yun,
Arneo.
yun, bara-bara
Gusto
yun.
mo.
Hindi sport yun. Hindi sport yun.
Oo.
Talagang basagan nyo ng mukha.
Kayo talaga, nabitin lang kayo last week with the Pacquiao and Barrios Kasi, ako, sa bagay, ako din.
Mas maganda at mas interesting to. Kaya the world will be watching. National Police Chief yan
Oo. Pag sinabay mo sa SONA yan, walang manonood ng SONA.
Oh, speaking of SONA, si Speaker Martin Romualdez has ordered that they tone down the
Yeah.
the pageantry of the SONA. Kasi tama na nga naman, SONA
Baha.
is technically just, well, the biggest reason is of course you're coming off the calamity. Maraming naapektado sa baha.
So wala nang fashion show.
Walang
Makikita
fashion
natin.
show.
Hindi, parang hindi pa yata niya binaban yung fashion show, but he did say tone down the activities on the red carpet. So we don't know if some people will still turn
Yun
up
lang
in
yun
their
eh.
gowns. You know, kasi
I'm sure.
Yun lang
Oo.
naman yung ano doon.
I'm sure.
Yun lang naman doon ang pwedeng i-tone down yung ano, yung fashion show.
Oo. Tsaka yung ano, sa bagay, because
Wala iba, wala namang kainan doon eh.
over the past few years, it's naging ano it became grander and grander every year, no? Talagang the lawmakers would show up in all like head-to-toe designer gear. Maraming nagpapagawa ng damit just for this occasion. And Speaker Romualdez said, okay, well, you know, the SONA really is the opening of Congress. It's the first day of work. Tama nga naman. And of course, yun nga.
Yung suggestion ko nga kay Ami kanina, dalhin yung mga mangingisda sa West Philippine Sea, patayuin. Diba?
Just like in the US.
Hindi lang rhetorics, pero konkretong mga frontliners. Dalhin yung mga biktima ng EJK, patayuin. Di ba mga ganun ba?
Yun ang matatakot kasi yun ma-identify sila.
Yeah.
They could get harassed.
Yes.
Okay
correct.
lang, maraming matatapang na haharap. Mangingisda, dahil
Kung
matatapang.
may willing na haharap, okay lang.
Yung mga
Pero yung victim ng EJK, they could get harassed.
Paano, humaharap na sila ngayon sa mga press con, humaharap na sila
Yung iba. Pero may
Kasama
mga
mo.
iba pa
Yeah,
rin na
yeah.
hindi natin kilala. Because
Hindi,
they're
kuha ka lang ng
anonymous.
20,
Pag yung gustong
30.
humarap
okay na.
siguro, pwede.
Yung tsuhin ni Kian De Los Santos, lagi nagsasalita.
Oh, yes.
Their
He's
praise,
very,
di ba?
he's very
Ayan,
vocal. Pero yung may mga iba pang...
Si Aling Nanet, yung namatay yung anak, lagi nagsasalita all over the place. No? So, marami. Makakakuha ka ng mga 30 na haharap talaga.
Pero may mga takot pa rin, no? Lumabas, sabi nga ni Attorney Christina Conti.
Siyempre,
that
dahil-
they're still doing the case build-up. Mahirap pa rin to...
Yung iba, namatay
get
ng cardiac arrest, pero may tama ng bala sa ulo. Kung di ka ba naman
Yeah.
matakot nun.
Of course. And of course, because ito na nga yung latest news din today, which is dinafer na yung decision on the interim release.
Yeah.
And si Attorney Joel Butuyan, the only Filipino accredited ICC lawyer, said that, one of two pala, sorry, said that some of the victims are worried, are scared in case he is granted interim release. Pero yun nga, at this point, na defer na yung decision, di natin alam kailan malalabas yung decision na yun.
Medyo mabilis namang magtrabaho yung ICC.
But the point is to give his team more time to submit additional information.
Yeah.
Sila naman nag-request ng interim release to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what this means that,
Tsaka sila yung nagmamadali before.
oo, they said it was
Gusto nila-
urgent.
Oo. Ngayon, backtrack sila ron.
Oo, so I'm not, I don't really know how to read this in terms of a legal maneuver. Ano ba to?
Yeah.
3 judges agreed to the ruling suspension and isa lang yung nag-partially dissent, and that's the judge that in fact the Duterte camp wanted to remove.
Maliit na issue lang naman yan. That's just a short delay dun sa pagdidesisyon. Siguro,
Yeah.
ang tingin ng mga Duterte, matatalo sila sa interim release, so naghanap sila ng panahon. Additional time para mag-ipon ng
More documentation.
arguments. Oo.
But what else is there? Kasi there are 3 grounds, and if you don't satisfy those 3 grounds, then it's as Attorney Butuyan said to us, right? Parang there's no other recourse. You need to be able to satisfy the 3
Pero
grounds.
at least na-delay mo. Sabihin, kahit pa paano, may kaunti kang gain. No? Kesa yung...
Hindi rin natin alam if this delaying of the interim release decision is gonna affect the timeline. Pero hindi naman
Hindi
yata.
naman. Hindi.
Because they're also asking to...
September pa yung talagang hearing eh.
Oo. Aren't they also asking for deferral on that? Yung confirmation of
Yes.
charges hearing?
Pero yung, for now, yung schedule is September.
Yeah.
Tsaka yung picture na pinakita ni Digong na siya ay skin and bones, mukhang fake yun eh.
Fake daw yun. Fake. Sinabi na ng Duterte camp.
Lumabas. Pero napanood mo ba 2 days ago yung interview ni Remulla sa US? Sabi niya, binanatan niya yung sarili niyang prosecutors.
Oh,
for being politically motivated.
So now we're
Sabi
talking
niya,
about
stop this foolishness.
the case of
Laila de Lima. That was 2
ML
days ago.
party list Laila de Lima.
Oh, na pinag-usapan natin last week. Ayun nga, ang sabi niya, hindi pwede yan. That's double jeopardy.
And today they withdrew the motion na nga.
Yeah.
Yesterday
They
pala,
withdrew
sorry.
na yesterday.
Kaya hindi talaga autonomous. Under niya yung mga prosecutors. Pero talagang kinastigate niya.
So,
Na politically motivated.
yeah.
Oo.
So explain to the viewers who don't understand how this works. Explain how this works. So may isang prosecutor general who sits at the top, tapos may mga prosecutors sa baba niya. Yung nag-file ng appeal to reconsider was yung prosecutor sa baba.
Yes.
Nang hindi alam ni prosecutor general, correct?
Hindi ko alam yung prosecutor general, pero hindi alam ng Justice Secretary. No, yun ang kanya. At nung
Which is not supposed to be.
at nung
Dapat
nalaman
alam
niya,
yun ng
nagalit siya.
secretary.
At nung nalaman niya, nagalit siya na double jeopardy, politically motivated, tawag nga niya foolishness. No?
Sorry, Ami, what was that?
Alam dapat yun ng secretary ng justice. Because it's a high-profile case.
So really,
Under niya yung prosecution service So dapat tinimbrehan siya. This is Laila de Lima, it's not just anybody
yes.
Dapat tinimbrehan siya.
So in this case, we suspect na hindi siya tinimbrehan. Parang nilabas na
Dahil
lang kaagad.
withdraw niya, in order niyang i-withdraw, yun ang pagkaintindi natin na hindi niya alam.
Siguro naman this is it, no? I mean, pabalik-balik tayo dito. I don't know how many times we've had Senator, Congresswoman Laila or Attorney Tino De Leon, and I don't know, I mean, they're already going to file charges against Justice Sec Vitaliano Aguirre, right? So,
Tutuloy yata nila yun.
tutuloy talaga nila yun. It's just a matter of
Yun,
days.
itutuloy yun.
Dahil mahirap kasi na paulit-ulit na lang yan Kailangan mabigyan din ng election. No? Dahil hindi dapat pwedeng politically motivated yung Office of the Prosecutor. No? Lalo na yung clear double jeopardy issue.
Almost triple nga kasi nag-appeal pa sila
Yes.
against the decision.
So magmumukha namang tanga yung DOJ, di ba? Na, ang linaw-linaw ng mga rules, tapos gagawin nyo pa rin yan. Siyempre, may command responsibility dyan. Kaya medyo nagalit si Secretary Remulla.
Hindi siya tinembrehan. Last item, President Marcos has of course returned to the Philippines, 3 billion pesos. So yung 3 billion pesos in-announce na kahapon. What's new today is meron daw $21 billion
21 billion.
in investment pledges. Malaki yun.
Pero maganda rin may compare. Parang wala kang basis for comparison Ilan ba yung investment last year? Ilan ba yung mga commitment nitong past 3 years?
Yes.
Na-deliver ba yon? Parang commitment yan Parang palang yan, letter of intent.
Correct.
Oh.
Parang yung sinasabi natin with Luzon Economic Corridor, they announced it during Biden's time.
Yeah.
I think to the tune of 100 billion, if I remember correctly.
So nasa na yun? May pumasok ba?
Well, ayun na yung amount sinasabi nila, right?
So yan yung previous commitment.
15, I
Hindi
assume
yan,
so.
Hindi yan bago. No?
Hindi to bago.
Oo.
So $15 million is proposed for Luzon's private sector development. I assume
Parang
galing...
narinig na natin before yan
Oo.
Diba?
Parang I assume galing to dun sa original pot na kinumit.
Kalawa, yung mga ODA, ano yung ODA before? Itong past 3 years. No? Parang iba yung USAID, iba yung ODA. No? Yung Official Development Aid. Ito ba ay katulad din nun? Tumaas ba o bumaba or just the same? So para meron tayong basis for comparison.
But, so there's a
Saka
lot...
may clarification ngayon siya, si Frederick Go,
Oo.
na yung trade talks daw are still being finalized. Inaayos pa daw yan.
Pero final na yung
Kasi
19%.
of course, ang daming criticism ng 1 percentage point reduction.
Pero,
No.
Tsaka yung 0% tariff, halimbawa sa cars, ang ibig sabihin nun, preferred country status. Kailangan mo ng batas doon. Hindi yung pwedeng gawin ng presidente.
You need to amend.
Kailangan mong gumawa ng batas. So, kaya
hindi naman blanket 0% sa lahat ng
Hindi,
goods.
halimbawa,
eh.
cars.
Just cars.
Pero
Plus,
cars, no,
kasi-
pharmaceuticals.
apart from,
Hindi ni-specify yung iba.
several other items.
Oo,
nakalagay lang
pharmaceuticals,
several
drugs.
items. Yeah.
Drugs, soy and wheat products.
Pharmaceuticals. Soy, I think soy,
Soy and wheat.
wheat.
Oo. So some agricultural products. So I guess ito yung sinasabi ni Secretary Go na they're still hashing out. Pero yung 19%
Yeah.
looks like it's final, no? I doubt that
Mukhang final na yun, no?
I doubt that they will still change
19.
that.
Yeah.
Kaya kino-compare sa ibang bansa kasi at the same time, on the same day, Tuesday, Indonesia got a deal
Correct.
to lower their tariff from 32 to 19 as well. 32 to 19%. And yung Japan na napakaraming export to the US got their tariff reduced from 25% for their automobiles to 15.
To 15.
Bakit ganon?
Oo.
Sila
Tapos,
15.
hindi kinakailangan bumiyahe.
Yun na nga.
Hindi kailangan biyahe. Si Indonesia, tawag lang. Even Vietnam, Vietnam, telephone call from their leader from 46% to 20%. Telephone call with Trump. But not on the same day, nauna sila sa atin.
And at the same time, mas strategic tayo dito sa global dynamics. Di ba? Hindi naman tayo nasa Timbuktu Nandito tayo sa South China Sea. Kaya inaasahan, mas better yung ating makukuha. No?
Well, that's what I was
Kaya nga.
expecting.
Ano mag-react dyan ng Korea? Zero tariff ang car sa US, paano kami? Mag-react dyan ng
Yes.
Japan, ng Toyota. Zero tariff, paano kami?
And also, on a micro
Unfair
level, my
competition
question is,
yan.
do we still need more cars? I mean,
Para mas madagdagan yung traffic.
every year, yung vehicle sales goes up, right? Every year yan. 100,000, if I remember correctly, 100,000 plus every year, the vehicle sales go up. So you have to wonder, like, on the one hand, how are you more people affording more cars? But also, ngayon, we're gonna make automobiles from the US 0% tariff-free.
So ano bibilin mo?
Wala. I mean, do we need more cars on the roads? I mean, wala pang kulang. It's the infrastructure that's not able to keep up. It's not the lack of vehicles, right? So, I mean, I know some people are excited to buy Teslas, but again, mayroon ba tayong charging infrastructure here?
Magko-coding tayo.
Bili ng code.
Sa e-tricycle, meron tayo. Meron, e-tricycle. Pero ang mga exempted daw, sabi ni Decgo, rice, corn, pork, and chicken. Hindi daw yung kasama doon sa yung zero tariff from the US.
Dapat
Hindi
lang.
kasama yun, nilinaw niya.
Grabe naman yun.
Rice, corn, pork, and chicken.
Okay, dapat lang because
Hindi kasi nag-aalala yung agriculture sector
correct.
natin.
Exactly. We don't want to be dumping ground, right? for the
Bagsak na nga
US.
yung ating agriculture.
Oo nga bagsak na yun. Ayun na nga. Again,
Although yung sa soy and wheat, meron diyang mga feed component, nag-aalala yung mga corn producers natin. For animal feed. Baka daw maapektuhan sila.
but ang alam ko din kasi we import a lot of feed na rin to begin with, tsaka yung fertilizer. So baka makatulong din to. I don't know. We'll see, no? And then,
Yan, tinitingnan magiging impact niyan.
Sabi nga ni Ambassador Harry Thomas, this is adding insult to injury.
this is
Former ambassador
to the
Pilipinas.
US.
Oo. Dahil there's nothing reciprocal about this. No? Parang hindi siya...
Some people are saying you have to look at it in totality as a whole. Don't look at the figure 19%, which I agree. I was expecting more of a cut, pero some people are saying you have to look at it in the totality. Parang
Yes, yung zero, sama mo. Yun, totality yun.
Kaya tinitingnan nga namin.
Sa'yo,
Ibig
Kasi
totality.
tinitingnan natin yung mga kapitbahay natin.
Because
Kung ano
sabihin
nakuha nila.
some people are saying, okay, you gotta look at the military support as well. Although wala pa tayong details, they did say we will work closer together militarily. So,
Hindi naman nabago yung 500 million It's the
hindi
same.
nga nabago. So for now, maybe there's something else, right? Maybe there's something they're not telling
Okay, sabi nga
us.
ni Trump,
Meron,
we don't
kung meron,
mind, you
they
can
would
have
have
trade
announced
with
it
China.
already.
Sabi nila, ba't sila tutulong sa atin militarily? Okay lang daw makipag-trade tayo sa China.
Because they themselves want trade with China, right?
Yeah, that's what Trump said.
Oo.
Sabi ni Trump,
Yeah, we
ikaw,
maintain good ties. We have our
diba?
ties with China are well, and he is going to meet with Xi Jinping.
Oo,
tinitingnan ko yung mukha ni
Soon.
BBM nung sinasabi ni Trump yun
Oo nga, that would have been very difficult for
we
him. No?
maintain good relations with China. Ano yun? You're saying that to the face of the Philippine president.
Exactly. Oh, and then in the
But he's a
same
very good, very strong negotiator.
and in the same in the same trip, si Trump was, all the other officials, si Hegseth, Rubio, again reiterating ironclad commitment. So, there's also a bit of
And
a...
naghihintay tayo ng statement about China. Ang sinabi, they have good relations with China.
But they're employees of the president.
Ano yun?
They can be removed anytime. Like Elon Musk, the most powerful.
Like Elon Musk.
So, ang pinakamahalaga, yung sasabihin talaga ng presidente.
But
Presidente,
you
yeah.
have to admit he's starting to soften his narrative with China. You know, parang initially, you know, he was all a firebrand na parang, oh yeah, 25%, 50% tariff, 75, 100%.
Pero gano'n naman talaga yung the art of the deal.
The art of the deal. Guluhin mo muna. It's like flip the table strategy and then let's
Method
talk.
in the madness.
Yeah.
Yun yung kanya.
Yeah. So
Pero hindi tayo nasama.
hindi nasama.
Hindi tayo kasama nga.
Dapat sana tayo yung mas maganda makukuha, di ba?
Dapat tayo pinakamaganda. We are the treaty ally in Southeast Asia.
Exactly. We're the only treaty ally in Southeast
Yeah.
Asia. Next
Yeah.
year, in-announce na ni President Marcos, Trump is coming for the ASEAN meetings. In-announce na din niya that it's the 80th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the US. So there's a lot of, you know, meaning
paano niya
and
yan-
significance there.
Paano niya yan ipe-present sa SONA as bringing home the bacon?
Yun nga, sinabi ko na, hindi mo naman pick up
Naging
yung
boom nga
narrative ko eh. The narrative is, you gotta look at it as a whole.
Yeah, the whole. The zero.
Not just,
the-
not just the 19%, but you gotta look at what we got militarily, what we got
What did we get
retain
militarily?
yung
Sige
500
na.
million.
Commitment.
Sinasagot ko
What
na
did
nga.
we
Isa
get
isa ko na nga eh.
Kayo naman, I'm trying to be the voice of reason here.
So we'll get 2 more missiles.
Well, we're getting an ammunition facility.
The ammunition facility.
That's-
Actually, sa kanila yon.
That's confirmed. Well, I know it'll create jobs, I guess.
Makakakuha ba tayo ng battleships?
Hindi.
Makakakuha ba tayo?
Ikaw naman, masyado
Bibili natin yung F-16s, babayaran ba natin? Ano bang makukuha natin na military? Come on.
I don't know. But
Mas marami pa tayong kukunin sa Korea eh.
Oo. Yung Japan,
mas marami
magbibigay
pa
sa
tayong
atin ng
kukunin
ng
doon.
mga para sa Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Ang France, magbibigay sa ating Coast Guard, no?
oh yeah, I forgot about yung Japan. I wonder kailan yung darating. We were reporting that a few weeks ago. Well,
Yeah.
21 billion in investment pledges from healthcare, infrastructure, semiconductor,
Yung sa healthcare, mukhang firmed up yon. Yung sa healthcare.
Sa Mercy
yung
Health.
hospital, yung ano.
Yung Mercy
Yung sa
Health.
ano ba, Secura, $500 million yon.
Correct. That's from
Yan, mukhang tuloy yan.
Itong past 3
Pero
years, ang
hindi
dami
ko
nating
alam.
commitment from the US eh. Billions of dollars. Gusto kong malaman, dumating ba yon? Or nung pagdating dito nung advanced team, nagagawa ng feasibility study, nakita nila yung ease of doing business natin. Nakita nila yung price ng
emphasis on ease.
price on electricity, floods, no, political instability, etc. ay tumuloy ba? Yun ang gusto kong malaman dahil we always, magsisimula na naman tayo, bibilang na naman tayo ng 21 billion, etc. etc. No?
And then
Ano
at some
nangyari?
point, you lose track of the number.
Diba,
Kasi
ano
iniba-iba
nangyari?
na eh.
No? Ano nangyari? No?
Teka lang, what political instability are you talking about? We have to pause for a very quick break. You're watching Storycon and One News. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Regina Lay. Still with us, Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star and Ronald Diamas, a resident political pundit. And also joining us this afternoon, we've got Geography Assistant Professor Timothy James Cipriano of the Philippine Normal University. He's also a resident geographer for AGHAM, or Advocates of Science and Technology for the People. Good afternoon, Timothy, Professor Timothy. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, Prof.
Good
Hi,
afternoon. Thank you
Professor.
very much. Thank you very much for having me. Good afternoon.
Prof, first of all, where are you? Kamusta yung area nyo?
Actually, I'm here in Manila, but luckily, yung aming lugar ay hindi naman talaga binabaha, no? So, unlike in areas, say for example, Taft Avenue, UN Avenue, where I used to pass by going to work to my university, yun talaga lagi binabaha yun. If you will notice, 2 days ago, nagsinara ni Mayor Isko Moreno yung area na iyon, yung Taft, between, I think, Calao and Lacpil, just to pump out water from the road. So and then they begin dredging the canals So yun yung ginagawa din nila doon sa area. But luckily in our place, hindi naman kami binabaha. But doon sa mga dinadaan, within our place, binabaha talaga ever since.
That's really good to hear. Parang ano, no? I'm not sure if I spoke to you last year around this time, pero parang every year it's the same places that get flooded. So far this year, ang narinig ko lang na nag-improve na is Marikina. Although of course nandyan pa rin yung overflow ng Marikina River, but you know, on the whole yung mga kalsada ng Marikina, at least kahit paano hindi sila lahat na went under. What is your assessment? Are we improving in any way?
Okay, if you remember, no, this time last year, President Marcos delivered his SONA, and in that same SONA, he said that in the entire country, if I'm not mistaken, over 5,000 flood control projects were completed, and billions of pesos were spent by the Philippine government through the taxpayers' money to construct, no? And hopefully we'll be able to control, quote unquote, the flooding that we are experiencing. However, days later, Karina came. Although Karina did not landfall in any part of the country, but it enhanced the southwest monsoon rains. So, and later on, nag-cause din ito na pagbaha sa iba't ibang mga areas. And then a year later, here we are again, no? We see the same scenario, almost the same. So in that situation, we have to look into or approach this situation right now differently, because in the past we have been concentrating on controlling or taming the water. So in this case, for example, here in Manila, where geographically binabaha naman talaga kami, but we are sitting in an alluvial floodplain din kasi. But of course, numerous studies have also shown that for the past century or for the past decades, tinatapunan kasi yung mga natural waterways ng mga concrete. So rapid urbanization has been at the forefront of this situation right now, which basically clog waters, no? And then the water, syempre, ang behavior niya is that maghahanap siya ng paraan o maghahanap siya ng way para puntahan or mag-flow. Kasi yan ang behavior ng tubig eh. So in that situation, talagang much of our interventions are focusing on controlling the flood, but rather than managing the flooding that we are experiencing at present. So it's about time for a paradigm shift already. From a more engineering approach or flood control approach to a more management approach, wherein it's not just a structural that we also invest on, but we have also to invest on non-structural, like for example, a more inclusive land use policy, or soft-structural like watershed rehabilitation or restoration, amid reports of increasing quarrying activities in Sierra Madre, and also deforestation, and of course, a massive land conversion in different areas. And I have seen yesterday a satellite image that there is a sediment loop doon sa Bulacan and Valenzuela, where na kung saan nakita natin na massive sediments were already overflowing doon sa mga dinadaanan ng mga rivers. So kita natin that we have to study more on that, pero but that's also a sign that there is an increasing active non-conversion activity or perhaps activities or human-driven activities that are happening in our mountains.
What did you call it, Prof? Sediment what?
Sediment plume. So basically, it's a sediment plume. It's actually parang binuhos lahat ng mga sediments from the mountains. Pero kumbaga, the large concentration of the sediments are there dun sa mga waterways natin, which is also very much evident at present.
Sa Metro Manila, ano pa ang pwedeng gawin? What can be done? You're talking about mga interventions. Anong pwedeng gawin? Kasi can you redirect the water, for example? Can you impound the water for future recycling, for example? Anong pwedeng gawin?
Halimbawa, Prof, dagdag sa talong ni Ami, short term, medium term, long term. Paano, siyempre, water impounding takes time mga pang medium term yan, di ba? So, ano yung mga pwedeng gawin na immediate? Halimbawa, for the next monsoon season next year, ano yung paano natin magagawa to mitigate yung flooding? Pero medium term, ay ano yung pwede natin gawin para na-set up na natin, halimbawa, yung water impounding natin. Di ba? Yung ating mga rainforest. Paano tayo mag-reforestation para hindi silt yung bumabara sa ating mga ilog at sa ating mga lakes. So, long term, ito yung mas mahalaga. No? Dahil lahat itong short term, medium term, papunta sa long term. From your vantage point, ano yung pwedeng gawin, Professor?
Okay, so let's talk about the short term. In the next year, let's say for example, we have to look into yung mga kasi may mga reports sa mga sirang mga pumping stations. Perhaps we have to prioritize in terms of repairing those. That's number one. Number two, kailangan consistent yung declogging operations. Kahit umuulan o hindi umuulan, kailangan consistent siya, dahil hindi natin may tatahila na pag bumara ang ating mga drainages, syempre mas babagal yung flow ng water. That's this is something that we have to look in. Number three, we also have to do clean up din sa ating mga canals, sa ating mga rivers. And it's not only in Metro Manila, it's also in different provinces. Kasi we have to understand the fact that we have to approach the waterways as a network. Kasi kung halimbawa, kung ang in-address mo lang ay paglilinis ng isang particular area lang, kung ang basura mo or yung other silt ay nanggagaling sa ibang area, so kinakailangan all local government units that belong to that same network of waterways or the same network of waterways within the watershed, kinakailangan linisin din yung mga rivers and canals, so that it will also contribute to, in a way, addressing flooding. That's the thing we have to do. In the medium term, kinakailangan natin tignan yung mga drainage master plans ng mga and it should be in sync with each other. For example, baka mamaya kasi may master plan ng drainage sa isang LGU, tapos walang master plan yung isang LGU, magkalapit yung dalawang LGU na yon. So, in Metro Manila, there should be a more unified drainage master plan so that we'll be able to address this flooding we are experiencing. Although, we have also to understand that engineering approaches also address a certain type of flooding. Yung tinatawag po natin na street level flooding. But what about, let's say for example, yung ating tinatawag na coastal flooding or yung tinatawag din natin ng mga fluvial flooding o yung pag-apaw ng river. Basically, pag umapaw yung river, babaha. So that's what you call fluvial, So meron kasing iba't ibang interventions for each type of flooding. So in that situation, yung pag-address din natin sa mga ganun types of flooding, that will also require medium to long-term interventions. Say for example, kung sa coastal man yan at may mga nagre-require kasi siya ng pag-reforest, say for example of mangroves. Although ang caveat din dyan ay kinakailangan tama yung pagtatanim ng mangroves. Kasi baka mamaya, kung saan-saan lang din tayo nagtatanim ng mangroves, meron kasi siyang tamang zoning at tamang species for mangroves. I will leave it that to the mangrove experts. We also have to understand also na yung watershed rehabilitation should also be prioritized. Ibig sabihin, kinakailangan natin mag-reforest doon sa mga area sa kung saan nasisira, no, yung or nakakalbo for in that situation dahil massive yung mga activities na nangyayari doon sa area. And it's about time for us, I think, that we have to stop development aggressive projects that also contribute to the to the massive flooding that happens. Kasi we have to understand that forests and our watersheds, nagsisilbi din kasi siyang kumbaga cushion ng tubig. Parang kumbaga ay sinisipsip niya yung tubig so that the runoff is not significant downstream. Yun yung tulong kasi ng mga puno no? So
right.
yun yung titingnan natin doon.
Short term, Professor, isasuggest mo ba na yung libo-libong flood control projects ay itigil na at i-centralize na lang sa ilang mas holistic at saka integrated flood control projects para masuggest mo naman sa presidente sa kanyang SONA?
Perhaps that will actually be possible na yung mga flood control projects natin kailangan pinag-iisipan din kasi siya. We have to understand also na yung mga yung ating mga existing na flood control infrastructure na meron tayo, it may not be anymore be able to accommodate more water, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi na naka-design doon sa extreme weather events. And we will leave that to our engineers, no?
Professor, you're so kind.
Oh, yeah.
You're so
and
kind.
also, yes. So, MMDA, no? Nasabi din nila yan that yung mga existing mga flood controls na ito ay yung mga infrastructures na meron tayo ay hindi na talaga siya kinakaya yung mga yung amount of water na binubuhos sa mga ulan na ito.
Speaking of MMDA and projects that may contribute to flooding, I wonder, Prof, if I could pick your mind about the Dolomite Beach, the Baywalk. I don't know, ano ba yung full name no? Manila Baywalk Dolomite Beach.
Dolomite Beach.
So the MMDA said
Manila Dolomite Beach.
it's contributing to flooding because it clogged up 3 of the drainages, major drainages. It's Faura, Remedios, and Abad. As an independent third-party observer, what do you think?
Okay, so even without the Dolomite Beach, there is flooding already in Manila, even reclamation, for example.
Correct.
But also we have to understand that the Dolomite Beach was just simply there as a cosmetic project of the previous administration. So in that sense, even for a long time, the portions of Manila Bay, for example, yung nilalakaran natin sa Rojas Boulevard, it has already been reclaimed. And therefore, yung local sediment transport niya and everything, it has already been disrupted. Ano? So, nung paglalagay ng Dolomite Beach, for me, it's unnecessary. It does not really contribute that much doon sa rehabilitation ng Manila Bay, considering that maraming ding mga basura din later on na pupunta din doon during habagat, and then nililinis din naman kasi siya regularly na DENR at saka ng MMDA for that matter. But it was really an unnecessary project that was done by the DENR. Also, we also have to understand too that the reclamation projects that were also done in Manila Bay could also exacerbate flooding by blocking water, no? Dadaloy sana doon sa area from the mouth of the water to the Manila Bay, pero bumabagal siya, no? Because may mga lands na nakaharang doon. So this is something that we also have to look into as well.
So it was unnecessary and it did contribute in the end. Kahit na binabaha na rin naman talaga ang Manila dati. Is what you're saying. Okay. We will leave that there for now. Thank you so much for your insights and for joining Storycon today, Professor Timothy James Cipriano of the Philippine Normal Universities.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Prof.
Professor.
Thank you very much.
We are out of time.
Always.
Always. Naku, may last piece of news pa. I was gonna circle back to the tariffs. And also tomorrow, nag-declare na DILG ng class suspensions.
So, isang buong
In
linggo.
all levels and work in government offices. Of course, it's mostly the same. The list is very long. You can check it out on our Facebook pages. Pero
So, ang
it's
Supreme
the
Court,
same
walang session
provinces.
bukas.
Supreme Court.
Patay, walang pasok eh.
Bakit may inaantay kang session tomorrow? Kasi may chismis na naman. Alam mo yun, Ami?
Chismis sa impeachment eh.
Oo, may chismis si Ronald, Ami. Ano yung
Naantay
chismis?
ko lang naman kung ano
Tungkol sa
pag-uusapan nila.
impeachment.
So, hindi sila
Parang
Pwede naman.
nakatatlong reset na eh. Tuesday yan, tapos sa kahapon, tapos sa Friday.
Dapat ba Tuesday this week?
Oh, may
okay.
naka-schedule yan.
Okay.
Oh, tapos na-reset sa Wednesday. Siyempre, baha pa rin, ulan pa rin. Tapos na-reset sa Friday.
Pwede naman mag-meet ng Zoom.
Oh, ha?
Pwede naman Zoom.
Suggest mo sa
Kasi na
kanila.
muna, Ronald, yung SONA.
Oo.
Para hindi masyadong combustible yung situation.
Kasi si Ami, alam na rin yung chismis.
Kaya,
Combustible.
kaya forward-looking yung Senate leadership. Sinet nila yung kanilang hearing sa impeachment sa August 4. Hindi sa 28. Dahil alam nila wala pang session yung
Yung Supreme Court.
ah.
Pero, supposed to be today and then delay
Dapat
na.
nga Tuesday eh. Tapos na-reset ng Wednesday. Yung Friday,
Pwede
nakaset
naman-
talaga yon.
Tomorrow. Pero wala eh. No government work tomorrow.
Kaya nga.
Pero pwede naman mag-meet on
Kaya
Zoom,
nga.
on Zoom, right?
I-suggest mo nga sa kanila. Huwag sa akin.
Okay. We're really gonna have to end kasi overtime na naman tayo. Thank you so much for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit who will tell us tomorrow if matuloy man ang Supreme Court special session. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay. We are One News, all sides, all the time.